Hi there, Swiss Bohemian here. Today's manga is this one. Let's find out after the intro what it is. Today's manga is a new manga for the category I call Shōwa manga. So a manga which were published in the Shōwa era, and in this case specifically from 1979 to 1981. It's a children's manga called Ojama Yūrei-kun. Ojama Yūrei-kun was published from 1979 to 1981 in the children's magazine called Koro Koro. And Koro Koro is a magazine which still exists today, and is a magazine where Doraemon is published. It's a magazine for grade schoolers. So this manga here was for grade schoolers, specifically 3rd graders to 6th graders. So the author is Yoshikawa Susumu. He started as an artist for Go Nagai, the famous manga artist. He started in the 1970s and he published few manga. Ojama Yūrei-kun was his biggest hit. What I hold in my hand is a reissue from the year 2000. It contains all 3 original volumes of Ojama Yūrei-kun. So this artist just published a few manga, and in the late 1980s he stopped drawing manga. He reappeared in the early 2000s and published some few doujinshi, but that's all. So he's not a famous manga artist in Japan at all. Ojama Yūrei-kun basically means troublesome ghost-kun. It is a children's manga which was published in Koro Koro magazine from 1979 to 1981. And it's basically the story about this boy called Yurei. So it's the story about him. He's called Yuki Reijiro, which is a pun on a ghost. In Japanese means Yurei. And he dies in a traffic accident, and since then he hangs out with his best childhood friend. She's called Kodama. Both are in grade school. And there are some side characters, but the majority of the first part it happens between these two. And there is like a third character, Beru Sairen. She's a kind of death god, a Shinigami. She's not so important, and the side characters are also not so important in the beginning. So basically, Yūrei-kun, he's always late to school, and he gets crushed by a truck, and then he dies. And he's back in school, and his childhood friend Kodama talks to him normally until actually she realizes that he's dead, he's a ghost. That's when she freaks out, and he also freaks out. And what happens next is basically the whole manga. He sticks around her, and he just wants to stay friends with her. But basically, he always shows up in the worst moments. For example, when she's undressing in the bath and stuff. And it sounds gross, and it's a bit difficult to explain. It's a children's manga. It's a gag manga. There is no progression in the story or in the characters. It's really a gag manga for little children. So it's specifically for young boys who are interested in the female body, or just in like a little bit silly humor. I wouldn't call it great, actually. It's rather questionable at certain times. Okay, there's one part in the story which grossed me out, to be honest. There is this part where Yurei is like on a picture. So he has been caught on a picture, and then later some members of the occult club kidnap Kodama-chan. These guys here, they kidnap her, and they're like other guys, actually senpai from these guys here. They are in university, and they do some kind of exorcism on Kodama, and this starts like really creepy. She's tied up, and then she's getting beaten. It's getting more strange and stranger. Then she's like splashed with holy water, and I don't know, then they even proceed to they want to electrocute her. I mean, they really want to electrocute her. And she's saved by Yūrei-kun. Yūrei-kun has the ability to like possess other people. So he's like entering the teacher's body and then he's like rushing to her and so on. But yeah, the whole idea of her getting nearly electrocuted and splashed with holy water and whipped with a stick is just, I mean, she's supposed to be like in grade school and these guys are supposed to be like university students. What the heck is going on? And this is a children's manga. And yeah, I guess as you can tell by the pictures I show you, it's the content sometimes is it's quite childish. I mean, look, for example, this one here. I mean, this is like what like a grade schoolboy thinks of like sexuality and his interest in the female body. So this author takes that as like opportunity to draw like some really strange and bizarre stuff sometimes. The drawing style is typically of 1970s gag manga, and you can really tell that the author was once an assistant for Go Nagai. It's the same style. It's almost like Harenchi Gakuen, which was like a very controversial gag manga in the late 1960s. There's no story progression. It's just gags and gags. And at the end, I think there's like some really bizarre things happening. Yūrei-kun is turned into a baby and is reborn as his rival. And it's really strange. And then at the end of this this particular thick volume, 600 plus pages, there's some bonus manga, some other stuff from the same author in a worse quality, print quality, but they say that in the beginning that there might be some trouble with the publishing of these chapters. And yeah. So, would I recommend this manga? No, unless you're interested in manga history and maybe children's manga and you want to see like some really bizarre stuff. The cover is done like this to attract the readers, and remember, I have read the Japanese obi somewhere where it says like the trauma manga is back. So this came out in the year 2000 and it was targeted for readers in their late 20s who read the original manga when they were like in grade school. I'm not sure if you can read it digitally. Forgot the name of the publisher. So basically this is a collector's items for readers who have read this manga, this Koro manga, when they were children, and they wanted to have all 3 volumes, which were by that time out of print, and that's it. If you're interested in like bizarre Shōwa manga, gag manga, targeted to children, with a polished art style, then yeah, grab this one up. That was it for today's short manga review. If you like these kinds of manga and manga review, please let me know in the comments down below, and see you next time. Goodbye!